Barron Trump has always been a quiet figure in the public eye. As the youngest son of former President Donald Trump, he has grown up under constant media attention. Yet, unlike his family members, he rarely makes public statements or appearances. He has mostly stayed out of political debates, and his presence has been limited to official events. Despite this, Barron has often been a topic of discussion. People have commented on his height, mannerisms, and overall demeanor. Some admire his private nature, while others use him to fuel political conversations. However, being a president's child comes with scrutiny, even when he tries to stay away from the spotlight. Recently, a reporter made an unexpected remark about Barron. It happened during a press event, where journalists gathered to discuss political matters. Out of nowhere, the reporter shifted focus to Barron, making a comment that many found insulting. The words quickly spread, causing a stir on social media. What made the moment even more interesting was Barron's reaction. Instead of responding verbally or showing anger, he simply crossed his hands in a calm and composed manner. That small action spoke volumes. It became a defining image, spreading across the internet like wildfire. Within hours, the clip had gone viral. People began discussing his gesture, analyzing its meaning, and turning it into memes. What started as an offhand remark soon became a major conversation, drawing attention from all sides. The incident took place during a press event at a high-profile political gathering. Reporters were lined up, waiting for statements from key figures. Cameras flashed, microphones were raised, and journalists competed to get the best soundbites. The atmosphere was tense but routine, until one reporter made an unexpected remark about Barron Trump. The reporter in question was well known in political media. With years of experience covering the Trump family, they had built a reputation for sharp commentary. Some saw them as bold, while others believed they often crossed the line. Their reporting style was direct, sometimes controversial, but this time they may have gone too far. In the middle of discussing political topics, the reporters suddenly shifted focus to Barron. Their tone was casual, but the words carried weight. They made a sarcastic remark about Barron's presence, suggesting that he looked uninterested or out of place. The comment implied that he didn't belong there, mocking his demeanor. For many, this came off as unnecessary and inappropriate. Barron has rarely spoken publicly, and yet he was being dragged into discussions about his father. Critics felt the remark was unfair, especially because Barron has never been involved in politics. Others pointed out that children of public figures should be off-limits from harsh media scrutiny. The reaction in the room was immediate. Some reporters exchanged glances, surprised by the sudden mention of Barron. A few chuckled awkwardly, while others remained silent. The moment created an uncomfortable tension. Those who supported the Trump family were visibly displeased, while others seemed unsure how to react. Meanwhile, Barron himself remained calm. He didn't say a word, didn't react aggressively. Instead, he simply crossed his hands in front of him. That simple gesture, subtle yet powerful, sent a clear message. It was a quiet but firm response, showing that he wasn't fazed by the comment. However, the real reaction came when the clip hit social media. Within minutes, the video started spreading. The reporter's words were dissected, and opinions flooded in. Some defended the remark as just an offhand joke, while others called it a cheap shot. But one thing was clear: Barron's reaction had stolen the spotlight. As soon as the reporter made the comment, all eyes turned to Barron Trump. For a brief moment, the room seemed to pause, waiting for his reaction. But instead of showing anger or discomfort, Barron remained completely calm. He didn't flinch, didn't roll his eyes, and didn't even look surprised. His face stayed neutral, showing no visible emotion. Then, without saying a word, Barron slowly crossed his hands in front of him. It was a simple gesture, but it carried an unexpected power. His posture was relaxed, yet firm. He wasn't defensive, nor did he appear bothered. Instead, his crossed hands seemed to communicate quiet confidence. It was as if he was saying, "I'm above this," without uttering a single word. His reaction was striking because it was so different from what people might have expected. Many in his position might have reacted with frustration or embarrassment. A teenager being mocked publicly could have easily lashed out or shown visible discomfort. Some might have fidgeted, looked away, or even responded with a sarcastic remark. But Barron did none of that. He didn't give the reporter the satisfaction of a reaction. This level of composure was impressive, especially considering his age. At just a teenager, he displayed a sense of maturity that many adults struggle with. He didn't let the moment shake him. He didn't let the reporter's words define him. Instead, his body language showed that he was completely unbothered. People in the room noticed. Some seemed surprised by his lack of response. A few journalists looked away, perhaps realizing the awkwardness of the situation. Even the reporter who made the remark hesitated for a moment, likely expecting some kind of reaction. But Barron gave them nothing to feed on. This moment was a reminder of how silence can sometimes be the most powerful response. Words weren't necessary. His crossed hands spoke for him, and in a world where every action is analyzed, Barron's quiet defiance stood out. It didn't take long for social media to take notice. The clip of his reaction spread rapidly, with people analyzing his body language and praising his composure. Some called it the ultimate power move. Others saw it as a perfect way to shut down unnecessary criticism. No matter how people interpreted it, one thing was clear. Barron Trump's reaction had made an impact. It didn't take long for the internet to take notice. Within minutes of the incident, clips of Barron's reaction started circulating on social media. People quickly picked up on his calm demeanor and the way he handled the moment. The video spread like wildfire, with thousands of shares, retweets, and reposts across different platforms. On Twitter, the reaction was immediate. Users began praising Barron's composed response, calling it a lesson in confidence and restraint. Some compared his silence to the way seasoned politicians handle criticism. Others simply found it refreshing to see someone in the public eye react with such quiet strength. Soon, hashtags like Barron Unbothered and Hands Crossed Power Move started trending. Over on TikTok, the moment took on a life of its own. Users created slow-motion edits of Barron crossing his hands, adding dramatic music for effect. Some compared him to historical figures known for their poise under pressure. Others made humorous videos, imagining what Barron might have been thinking in that moment. The clips racked up millions of views in just hours. Meanwhile, Instagram was flooded with memes. Some showed side-by-side comparisons of famous power moves throughout history, placing Barron's hands-crossed gesture among them. Others added captions like, "When the drama is beneath you," or "Cooler than the other side of the pillow." The simplicity of his reaction made it easy for people to relate to and turn into a viral trend. Even YouTube joined in on the discussion. Popular commentators and influencers analyzed the moment, breaking down why it resonated with so many people. Some pointed out that in an age where social media thrives on quick reactions and outrage, Barron's silence was a rare and unexpected twist. Others praised his ability to handle public scrutiny better than many adults in politics. The viral moment wasn't just about Barron's reaction, it became part of a larger conversation. People debated whether public figures' children should be left out of political discussions. Some argued that the media had crossed a line, while others focused on how Barron had turned the situation around without saying a word. No matter the perspective, one thing was clear. Barron's hands-crossed gesture had turned into an internet sensation. What started as an offhand comment from a reporter had now become one of the biggest trending topics online. As Barron Trump's reaction went viral, people from all sides weighed in. Supporters praised his composure, calling it a sign of quiet strength. They admired how he ignored the negativity and didn't give the reporter any satisfaction. Many felt that his reaction sent a clear message. He wasn't going to be dragged into unnecessary drama. Critics, however, had mixed responses. Some downplayed the moment, saying it was nothing more than a teenager standing still. Others argued that the media had a right to discuss Barron since he was part of a high-profile family. A few even tried to twist the narrative, claiming that his silence was actually a sign of arrogance. But overall, the majority of reactions leaned in Barron's favor. Political figures and celebrities also joined the conversation. Some conservative commentators applauded Barron for handling the situation better than most politicians. Others pointed out the double standard, noting how media criticism of presidential children is often selective. Meanwhile, a few Hollywood figures chimed in, with some defending Barron's right to privacy and others using the moment to take jabs at the Trump family. Body language experts were quick to analyze the clip. Many agreed that Barron's hands-crossed gesture was a sign of self-assurance. Some explained that it showed he was comfortable in the moment, not feeling threatened or defensive. Others suggested that it was a subconscious way of showing he was disengaged from the negativity, choosing to remain in control rather than react emotionally. As the discussion grew, people began wondering if the Trump family would respond. While Donald Trump himself didn't make a direct statement, some sources close to the family hinted that they were aware of the situation. Supporters speculated that Trump was likely proud of his son's calm demeanor. Melania Trump, who has long been protective of Barron's privacy, also stayed silent. However, some recalled her past statements about keeping children out of political attacks. In previous instances, she had firmly called for respect toward her son, making it clear that he should not be a target of media scrutiny. The moment sparked a larger discussion about public figures, children, and media responsibility. Many argued that Barron had done nothing to deserve the spotlight in this way. But whether people supported him or not, one thing was certain: his simple reaction had turned into a viral phenomenon that no one saw coming. As the backlash grew, all eyes turned to the reporter. People wanted to know if they would apologize or stand by their comment. At first, the reporter stayed silent, letting the debate play out online. But as criticism mounted, they were forced to address the situation. When the reporter finally responded, it wasn't with a full apology. Instead, they downplayed the remark, calling it a harmless observation. They claimed there was no ill intent and suggested that people were overreacting. In their statement, they said, "I simply made an offhand comment. It was not meant to be disrespectful." However, for many, this explanation wasn't enough. The media quickly picked up the story, with major outlets covering the controversy. Some defended the reporter, arguing that public figures, especially those in the political sphere, are often subject to scrutiny. Others criticized them, saying that children of politicians should not be targeted, no matter the context. The discussion soon turned into a debate about journalistic ethics and media boundaries. As the pressure continued, the reporter's employer also got involved. While they didn't take extreme action, they did release a statement acknowledging the controversy. They assured the public that they valued professionalism and fairness in reporting. However, they stopped short of issuing a direct reprimand. This response left many people divided. Some felt it was sufficient, while others believed stronger action should have been taken. The public reaction to the reporter's statement was intense. Supporters of Barron and his family were outraged, calling the response dismissive and insincere. They felt that if the situation had involved the child of a different political figure, the reaction would have been different. Many took to social media to demand a formal apology, with hashtags like "apologize to Barron" trending for hours. On the other side, some people defended the reporter. They argued that the comment wasn't meant to be insulting and that the backlash was exaggerated. A few even blamed the viral moment on social media culture, claiming that people were looking for reasons to be offended. Despite the controversy, the story eventually started to fade. The reporter moved on, and the media shifted focus to other news. But the moment had already left its mark. For many, it was a reminder of the power of social media, and how one small action could turn into a massive conversation overnight. The incident sparked a much bigger conversation about the treatment of public figures' children. While politicians often face scrutiny, their children are usually considered off-limits. Many people questioned whether it was fair for Barron Trump to be pulled into media discussions, especially when he has stayed out of the public eye. This wasn't the first time a president's child had been the subject of controversy. In the past, Chelsea Clinton faced criticism during her father's presidency, and Sasha and Malia Obama were also targeted by the media at times. However, in most cases, there was strong public support to protect them from unnecessary attacks. Many argued that Barron deserved the same respect. What made this moment stand out was Barron's reaction. His calm and collected response struck a chord with people. In a world where social media thrives on outrage and quick reactions, his silent gesture felt refreshing. It wasn't just about politics. It was about how to handle criticism with grace. The viral nature of the moment also showed how quickly opinions can spread in the digital age. A single gesture turned into a worldwide discussion within hours. People from different backgrounds, whether they supported his family or not, found themselves admiring the way he handled the situation. In the end, this wasn't just about one comment from a reporter. It was about media responsibility, personal boundaries, and the power of quiet confidence. And that's why it resonated with so many.